Hello, everybody. This is our fourth lesson this week, and I'm going to continue to talk about Antalya Museum. Well, I said a few things about its history, and now the museum itself. It contains 13 display halls, a children's section, and open galleries. The objects only belonging to the region are generally presented chronologically and according to their subjects. The first hall of the museum is Natural History and Prehistory Hall. Well, in addition to the 3 display windows in which the fossils of geological periods are presented, the chipped gravel, hand axes, diggers, bone tools found in the Karain cave are presented. Karain is a cave located 27 kilometers northwest of Antalya. Besides the remains which have been found in the 10.5 meters thick soil fillings dating from the Paleolithic period, there are also the tooth and skeleton remains of Neanderthal human beings that had lived in the Mesolithic period. Semaik is the only center representing the early Bronze Age. Most of the artifacts were found in graves, including pots of various sizes, seals, brush handles, idols, and especially gifts for the dead. Well, this hall of small works, there are a few halls for this. The first one is the technical developments of ceramic art after the invention of the pottery wheel, vase forms, different embellishment styles, and these are presented dating from 12 BC to 3rd BC periods. The 2 display windows in this section are for the interesting finds of makeup materials and accessories. And the second hall of these small artifacts and the selected artifacts of different cultural phases dating from 4 BC to 6 AD are presented in the display windows in this hall. The vase presented to the Princess of Egypt, Benerike, the Athena engraved on silver plate, bronze statues of Apollo and Hercules, the head of Attis, the marble statue of Priapus representing fertility. The earthenware and marble statues are the whole exhibits of outstanding value. In the underwater display window, there are objects that were found in ancient sunken ships. Well, in the Hall of Gods, there are statues of gods are presented. The gods in the salon are the main god Zeus, surrounded by Aphrodite, Tychne, Athena, Nemesis, Iphigenia, Hermes, and Dioscurs, and at the opposite side, there are Serapis, Isis, and his son Harpo, all of Egyptian origin. The statues are the Roman copies dating 2nd century AD of their Greek originals, and all of them were found Perge excavations. And there is another hall, it's called the Hall of Emperors. The most beautiful examples of portraits representing the main character of Roman sculpture are presented in this hall. All of the statues were found in the Perge excavations are also here. There are many statues of 2nd and 3rd centuries because the most magnificent period of the region's historical development was during this time. There are portrait statues of the Emperor Trajan and Hadrian, of Septimius Severus, Sabina, Faustina, Julia Domina, Julia Semicas, Plancia Magna, and there are also statues of 3 beauties. Well, in another hall, burial culture is exhibited. The 2 walled tombs in this hall belong to Domitius Spilicius and his family. On the cover, the wife and husband are shown in a lying position. The erases on the corners symbolize the happiness of a family. The other important walled tomb dates from 2 AD Its subject is Hercules. One of the vault tombs is the most striking example of illegal trafficking of antique objects. A piece of the vault tombs, which was broken off and smuggled out, was brought from the USA and mounted back in its place in 1983. Appropriate to the original positions, grave steels sprinkled on the soil ground and ash pots are presented in the hall. Stele arkadaşlar mezarlarda ya da başka yerlerde dikili taş anlamına geliyor gene. Evet. And there is another hall. It's called Halls of Mosaics and Icons. Well, the most important of the mosaics in this museum is the Mosaic of Philosophers, which was found in Seleucia excavation. On another mosaic coming from Seleucia, Orpheus, charming the wild animals with his flute, is depicted. There are also corners reserved for examples of local sculpture, chipping equipment, and bronze sculpture techniques in this section. The icons presented in this hall are collected from the region of Antalya, dating generally from 18th and 19th centuries. And then there is another hall of coins. The 2,500-year-long tradition of minting coins, dating from 6th century BC, its technique and economy are presented in an educational order in this hall. In the presentation, state coins of Pamphylia, Pisidio, Lycia regions, and generally regional coins of the chronological order of Classic, Hellenistic, Roman, Byzantine, Seljuk ages, and the Ottoman period are the main focus. There are also gold and silver hoards in this section. Hoard arkadaşlar bir yığın demek aslında ama böyle para olduğu zaman, yani sikke dediğimiz şey olduğu zaman antik sikke gömüsü adı veriliyor. Böyle genelde şeylerin içinde oluyor, böyle toprak kapların içinden çıkıyor böyle. Ona silver hoard deniyor. Yani sikke gold and silver olabilir ya da sadece coin hoard da denebilir. Sikke gömüsü deniyor onlara. Evet. Devam edelim. And there are ethnography halls in this museum. The ethnography section comprises of two big halls. And in the first one, chinaware, porcelains, religious artifacts, insignia, seals, charms, watches, ornamental objects, locks, keys, and clothes are presented. The chinaware is from Seljuk and Ottoman periods. The Seljuk chinaware was brought from Aspendos. The Ottoman chinaware in square panel forms presents examples of Iznik artisanship from 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries. The ornamental objects are the best examples of accessories still used in Antalya. There are also keys and locks presented as quality artisanship. Clothes, purple velvets embroidered with silver thread and Yörük nomad materials can be examined in two sections. Yörük clothes, socks, baggy trousers, long robes worn over baggy trousers, undershirts, purses, girdles, and caps can also be examined here. And the second hall is formed of four sections of carpets, Yörük materials, interiors, and guns. Besides the regional artifacts and materials in this hall, the carpets of Uşak, Gördes, Ladik, Mucur, Bergama, Kula, and Avanos are presented. The oldest carpet in the collection is an Uşak carpet of the 16th century. A part of the hall is reserved for a living, sleeping, and bathrooms of a modest Antalya home. In a part of the display windows, arrows, bows, knives, guns and rifles with flintstones and swords, equipment of dervish lodges, powder flasks, powder scales, and oil cans, and also guns and supporting materials are presented. And finally, there is a children's section in Antalya Museum. Well, a hall in the entrance of the museum was organized as a children's museum, which is the first of its kind in our country. In the display windows of this section, there are various children's toy and antique money boxes. Simple restorations and educational activity opportunities for ceramic sculpture and drawing are provided here, and their work presented in the studio section in order to make the children enjoy museums and antique objects and to awaken their interest. And it's a really good idea, I think. Okay, another great museum of our country. Well, our next museum is Ephesus Archaeological Museum, an important one. Well, a visit to Ephesus Archaeological Museum in Selçuk is the perfect complement to the tour of the ruins of the ancient city of Ephesus. The Ephesus Archaeological Museum is located in Selçuk, near the entrance to the Basilica of St. John. The museum rooms display excavations from the ancient city of Ephesus, the nearby Temple of Artemis, and the Basilica of St. John. And moreover, other archaeological sites situated nearby are represented, including the finds from the Bellevue Mausoleum and Çukuruçi Mound, where the oldest artifact in the museum's collections was found, a stamp dating back to 6200 BC. Milattan önce 6200. Bayağı eski. In Ephesus, the works of art dug up between 1867 to 1905 were transported to the British Museum, those from 1905-1922 taken to Vienna. Then, Turkish Republic forbade taking antiques out of the country and founded a museum in Selçuk near Ephesus. Its present form was given in 1983. The Ephesus Museum is not designed according to chronological order. On the contrary, it has rooms with a theme. For example, the rooms are called as the house findings room, the hall of the fountain relics, the hall of the funeral relics, the hall of Artemis, the gladiator section, and so on. Highlights of the museum include two colossal statues of the Ephesian Artemis. Both statues symbolically related to the idea of fertility. Among other works of art, you will see household items, including the bronze statue Eros with the dolphin from a 2nd century fountain and a faded 3rd century fresco of Socrates. The fresco indicates the importance of philosophy in the daily life of the citizens. During the Roman Empire, Ephesus housed an important school of medicine. You will find in the museum a collection of medical and cosmetic tools, along with the wall of portraits of several famous Ephesian physicians. Well, recovered from several monumental fountains are a representation of a headless Aphrodite and a head of Zeus without a body, dating to the 1st century AD. From the Fountain of Trajan are a statue of a youthful Dionysus with a satyr, and a statue of Dionysus with members of the imperial family. Many artifacts are displayed in the courtyards, include the pediment from the Temple of Augustus, in other words, the Temple of Isis, reassembled with statues that had been moved to the pool of the Fountain of Pollio after the destruction of the temple. The sarcophagus with muses dating to the 3rd century AD, the Ephesus monument inscribed with the customs regulations as issued by Emperor Nero in 62 AD, and detailing the process of tax collection, typically undertaken by a third party rather than as a state activity. Okay, We are going to finish talking about Ephesus Museum in our next video, and we are going to talk about other museums. And I'm going to see you there. And until then, take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.